Hi,
So what's your name?
I'm Hema Harchandani.
And how old are you?
I'm 38, running.
And what city were you born in?
Born in Jaipur.
And where do you currently live?
Jaipur only.
And what ethnicity are you?
Jaipur.
So now tell me about your childhood.
Childhood, my childhood is very different because I come, the community calls in the families where you have mostly, business class closely. I'm talking about my time in his 80s. That time, majority of, and we are actually no brothers we had only two sisters. So that was the childhood was good, but very restricted childhood. Maybe that time the as an Indian woman you can't go out from the house. You have a very limited time. You can't access just like that as today we can do. But I enjoyed that as well.
So did you have trouble balancing the restrictions that were placed on you and what you wanted to do?
Yes, it is there because I believe into that the way I born and my childhood has been growing up, and I see my sister because we both have a difference of ages more than 10 years, and the entire family thought process will be how the changes happens in the family. As we always, because you are a elder one in your house and all the restrictions was there. Even when I started my colleges, my father was not allowing me to go to the college.
Oh, wow.
And he said no, let's get her marriage, because and I don't know why I'm beautiful. I can't say something because he always very scared about my daughter is very good looking daughter, so I have a little restriction. But I think that was a time is like that. So I fundamentally believe into that. That is a time is like that. The same story not happened when my sister was growing and when she was doing her graduation or MBA, whatever she has done today. So and then I was also back support because when you see the younger one was changing, so that was a different. But I always appreciate. Still, I believe because my parents was little educated. My father was educated. My grandparents was very educated. My grandmother was even a principal of one of the government schools, and she was the one of the person. She's always, because I lost her when I was in 10th standard. So till 10th standard she was one of the moral support. No, I'm there, let her do and everything. After that, because the society is like that and we are a Sindhi community, now people are changing. Now the you see new India, new things, new people, new generation, everything is there. So that was a different time which we had. You can't express that feeling to your parents, which I feel.
Right. तो आपने पापा को कैसे मनाया college में?
So I told him, you just pay a basic fees, because that time fees was not too much.
Right.
I said, okay, let me do some work at my home, and whatever extra the things are there, I will manage my own.
So what did you do?
I used to do a home tuitions. The kids used to come to my house, and I used to do the tuition classes at my home. And I used to earn sometimes 800, 700 rupees in a month, and that was a huge money that time. And those money I actually went out and start buying my books. I start studying it, and finally I done my graduation. And when I did my graduation, finished my graduation, after that I asked my father, so I wanted to do some job. He simply said no, as usual, because same, because of the community, you can't go out, girls will not go. And then my father was in a business, so he was like always say, if you want to do something, just do some accounts work in my business and support me, kind of thing. So I said no, I don't want to do it. I wanted to build my career, and I really wanted to do actually wanted to be something. I don't be just like that. So finally he said, okay, let's do something. So started one of some initially jobs, which I started one of the bank. And I was, because I'm a graduate from commerce background, so I got very easily accounts department, and so initially when I was doing my graduation, along that I will started my doing my MBA. So because of that, passion is there. So I wanted to do something in my corporate life. I wanted to become something that is always there. So whatever tough conditions is there, I always fight myself. No, let me do it. Let me go forward. So that's how my childhood is.
So what was it like growing up as a woman in Jaipur overall?
Growing woman?
Growing up as a woman in Jaipur.
Now see, if I look at now today's days, it's totally changed. I said now girls are more powerful. They can talk to easily. Even the parents are educated. Parents even give the space to the girl child to talk. But yes, if you still go for a rural area of Rajasthan, it's not like that. Still the situations are very difficult. It's not very easy to, especially when the females wants to do something, and the family will support. Family will never support to them initially first.
Right.
She has to fight for that. That's what the problem is. The second part is, while I say my story about is when I was growing up in Jaipur, when the female started working in a corporate, I think when I started my first after MBA first job, which I say yes, that is a prominent one of the job which I started. I was the first female over there.
Oh, wow.
Because I was I was a part of the marketing. I chosen marketing. I said because I can talk better. I can ask so many questions. I can talk. So I said no. This is one of the thing I should go for it. So and that also I have to fight again with my family because I was doing sales and sales and marketing, and then again I have to. I be the person who's interviewed my this thing. He said, oh. I'm going to, you are the experimental candidate for me because you are the first female.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how the journey started, and but I feel happy about that because whenever anybody is giving me back to saying yes, you are the first female and you are trying to do something, you are the experiment, that hits you very badly.
Yeah.
So always believe into that. Whenever hits you, then you will actually bounce back and start working on that part. So I think that's what the
What was it like working as the only female in that office?
So it was an insurance company where I started, and in a marketing sales, like sales department. That time I'm talking about 99, 2000, 2001. Those time females was not used to do sales in Indian market. More of the females were like in a back office or a HR or a support functions they will be. So they have a 9 to 6 job. And especially in a sales, you have a start from 9. There is no timing, especially in India. So those time I still remember when I said to my boss I wanted to join in sales department, and then he said okay fine, go ahead. And he said experimental. I come back to my home and I said my father, I will join this big company. This is a brand as I'm going to join. He was very happy. And he said, what department you are joining? I said I'm in sales. And then he said, what? You are going to do the sales now? I'm not agreeing. Again, in my home I used to say there is a drama between father and girl. But I think okay, it is always drama happen initially, and being a female, you are very expertise also how to convince your father.
Right.
So that advantage you have. So he was always initially do drama, and after 10 days he said, okay, you have decided, go ahead, your risk. Anytime you need me, you have to tell me. So, finally, slowly, I have to convince. That's what.
So can you think of a time you felt particularly aware of your gender and how it led you to be treated?
So, see, treatment of the gender, what I believe, again, there's a two phases. So, that time, yes, little humiliation was there sometimes. Even when I even I still remember when I worked in my first organization, I worked in 5 years, and I was in a topping of my chart. It's not just like that. I'm not doing good. I was doing very well that time. After end of the day, because all our people are men's around you, they start poking you in your, because once you start becoming a boss or you're getting next level promotions. So there's people start pulling you, which we say normal corporate politics happens.
Yeah.
So this start happening with me in those times.
What would they say?
So they said no, I met with one of the accident actually, fall down with the stair, and then my first this right like broken because of there was some off, and that time I recently got my promotion. So they start, you're not coming to office. I said I've taken a medical leave because of that problem. Still I used to have taken a, I always say in my family, I'm even in my mother, all the people say you are a very difficult woman to handle it. So I still remember I done a one rental car, I arranged a driver. I used to go because I'm very passionate about my work. I can't just leave like that, because after 3-4 years you work very hard and you reach into that level. So I used to go to at least 2 hours to take care of what other things are going in my office and all. So still the bigger boss said, no, you're not working. And so finally after 6 months I decided to move on, because I start thinking like they have a typical mindset of the male dominating kind of thing, where they don't want to any female should grow into the systems. They are not ready to accept that. So after 6 months I left and joined another organization. That's what it is. So I think gender is something, even in today I talk about now when I started in 2016 my organization, especially from because I worked in across India, a lot of states, lot of people along with me, whatever my experiences is. So when I come back to Jaipur and I started, okay, let me start my own work now today, because now I'm running an education organization. So here also people were not ready to accept initially as a woman, I still remember even the vendors also very surprised. Okay, आप ही मैम काम करते हैं, you are only billing.
Yeah, 2016
2016 ऐसा बोलते हैं, and ऐसा बोलते थे vendors. There is a lot of vendors you need to appoint when you need to start work.
Right.
So there's okay, sir क्या करते हैं, आपके husband क्या करते हैं, और वो क्या करेंगे. I said this is not your point of view. What you want, what I want, that's a business. Don't getting into what my husband is doing, what my family is doing. So it took time to changing set of the mindset the people have. One. Second thing is still when you go out, I say in a Rajasthan, in a Jaipur, still people are not mature enough to handle if woman is running own organization. Still, because I'm meeting a lot of females. If I meet even a female, so it is not about only men is there. Fight against the men.
Females
there is the females
Oh,
also.
I
So
know.
why happens when you talk to some of the females, because the community is actually building like that, because majority of having their traditional business, so they don't accept any female. Just so if I talk to any good businessman woman and ask and then they converse with me, and then I said, okay, I am also run the enterprise and this is my enterprises, so what your husband do? First question. So I said, what my husband do is nothing as important, right? What I do, that's more important, because I run this organization, right? So that's which I can see, there is a gaps still people have, and I think it's going to take much time to come up those level, the people
So what
start
do you do
accepting.
when they do you say something to them?
So sometimes I'm very blunt.
So what do you say? Yeah.
So sometimes I say, yes, I run the organization, my husband do other work.
Yeah.
So he's not a part of my, he is supporting, it's never like that, because it's always, whenever you need, the people are around you. So he's being always supporting, he's being always there. But yes, entire the work we do as a woman. I do that, my team do that. As I said, I have a 95% female staff because I run an education institute. So in that institute, you have a maximum teachers are, all females, and then my corporate office, all are a female. Maximum we have females.
Right.
So I said it's not like that. So there is a lot of females also talk about the same. So I've seen this gaps are because of the upbringing which has been done is like that only. So we can't change just like that.
Yeah. So what would you say you are most passionate about?
I'm passionate about music.
Wow.
I'm passionate about gymming, because I think I'm a more adventure. I'm actually an adventure person. I like traveling. I can travel a lot of months if
Where
I
have you
wanted to
been?
be. I've been a lot of. I said India. I have most of the travel, because last when I left my corporate, I was heading one of the channel across the India. So India, most of the from Jammu to Kanyakumari.
Oh,
A lot of the places I've seen,
Wow.
and most of the places India I've been there, and even abroad, Singapore, Thailand, Dubai, Malaysia, whatever. There's a list.
Wow. That's
So
awesome.
every year now there is a list is there where I have to be. I'm planning to go now. This year onwards, I've taken up one new challenge. I said, well, let me take my daughter also.
Yeah.
So this year I have taken my daughter, me and my daughter vacation time. So I told her, I said, we have every year 2 vacation. One is a family,
Mhm.
and another one is you and me.
That's
there.
so nice. That's so cute.
So that's what we started. Yes.
So now tell me about a time you empowered yourself.
So there is no time, I think, empowering. First of all, I don't believe this philosophy. I think there is a female always have so much of power. God is already given to you, right? We are already powerful. Why should we require people should come and anything I have to empower it? Only thing I have to recall it. Yes, I have a power
Right.
and I can do
Uplift
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to remind that yeah, I can do it.
Mhm.
If you're ready for that, you don't need to times, or you don't need to talk about, say no people should come, or I've done this, or I've empowered. I don't think so, because I've been seen my struggle, my childhood to till corporate, even till today when I'm running my own organization. There is everyday challenge. So I know that power in me, I can handle it, and that's more important. Yes.
Oh, I love that. So what made you want to start Canvas? Like, can you tell me about the journey to starting it and all that stuff?
So how did I start? So this is the story, because I said my grandmother was principal in the school, and I'm actually very connected with her when in my childhood, because in a school normally, even when you're a principal in the school, you get in some summer vacation. So she is the very powerful lady in those times, and I'm talking about 60s and 70s,
Yeah, it's hard.
because being into our community, she was a very powerful. She was the only graduate lady that time, and she got the government job. And after that we used to have a community. She was managing entire community account systems, balances for the managing entire thing, which was very and she also, I'm sure, because that's what she is one of the inspiration also for me. So every year we used to travel, so I keep traveling along with her. Even I still remember when I was in 5 years old, we went to Bombay. We said, okay, let's go to the Bombay. There was a summer. She used to tell me, chalo, let's go. चलते हैं, घूम के आएंगे. Let's have explore the things. बाहर जाओ, देखो. So she was very powerful, and that's what helped me. That's what always inspiring me to start this institute. I always believe in anywhere, wherever I go, I always say, yes, my grandmother is always, as an angel to me, and she'll be always there. So, 2016 we started Canvas. We are into the preschool business. So it's not a business, you can say. We are actually in preschool educations. And because of why I entered, there was two. One is, yes, I said my grandmother. Second one is, there is a gap between in this market. So there is a preschool, early schools are there, which are very high-handed. There is a school which are very low. They don't give the quality of the education. So our focus and main area is to give the basic people, like who are the middle class people, to give them the quality education, because every child has a right for the education, right? So that's what our core focus is. The quality standard has to be maintained as good as best. Might be I don't have a huge infrastructure, right? But I believe whatever infrastructure I have, whatever kids are coming to me, they should have a best education to them. And early years in Indian, we don't believe into that.
Right.
Exactly. If you ask for now, because what happened, there's a trend line. I'm talking, whenever I talk about little, the numbers. So numbers we talk about, there is a trend line is there, where is the people who are educated, the new generation, they understand, okay, the early years are matters. But if you go downwards, like middle class, if you go little, bottom of the pyramid, those people not even bother. They don't send their kids till even 5 years old, even sometimes 6. We have a rural branches where is the kids come to us. There is a 5 years old not even gone to any of the school, right? But yes, there earlier was happiness because of education system was like 6 years onwards we should have education. Then we changed to, we started, yes, we have early years also. So there is a still gaps. So that's what we are filling it up. But earlier was there education happening at our homes. There was a lot of home, home chores where the women were doing, like your mother was, making papad or roti, and lot of things the children actually do and involved with them, that regular practices. So those are already helping the children to building up their skills level. Nowadays this entire thing is changed because everything is phone, mobile, technology, or a TV, right? So now what happened is, even if you're saying if the kids come from the rural background, they have a maximum time they are watching TV, they are hearing there, they are not playing. So basically they are not involved with the mothers for doing anything. And the mothers are also busy, right? We don't have a work now, everything is ready-made available.
Right.
Still people are very busy. They are not giving proper time. So there is a one area where they're over giving time. There is a people who not even giving the time. So are trying to build that gap. We wanted to educating the children as well as the parents as well. Trying to tell them this is a quality education.
How do you do that in like Indian communities overall tend to be very rigid and like stuck in their traditional.
True.
So how do you educate a consumer?
So I'll tell you, when I started my first school, I used to go door to door. Yeah. I used to knock every door. And the first school the community where I opened it, it's not a very high network community where I open it. It's like a middle class people, or below the people are going upwards. Those are the people, those are the families. The income is not very high. So I still remember when I start knocking the door, I said, I've just opened, this is the school as this, and we want your child, you have a child of 2 years which I can see the playing around you, or the 3 years child, why don't you get admitted? Madam, ये क्यों खेलेगा, ये तो अभी खेलने की उम्र है, अभी क्यों स्कूल जाएगा? I said, what he is doing in this age, 3 years. मैडम कुछ नहीं, टीवी देखता है, बैठा रहता है, कुछ नहीं करता बस. So we started counseling them. We started one by one. Now today that's what every door we knock every day. Every day morning I used to 7 o'clock I used to be with my team and said, okay, let's go. Now the same school I have a 300 plus student. So this feels proud. Yes, that moment. Yes, I achieved that moment because I really wanted to do that.
Yeah. So do you have any advice for girls who are also trying to realize their power?
So now girls are very passionate. You are also sitting. So I have only one advice. So if you have a desire to do something, or if you have a dream to do something, just follow it. Don't look at back to, there is a problem, there is a challenge that will come every day, right? But you have to just follow. You just keep stick. Just think about that moment when you think about this is my dream is. That you have to do. Nothing else. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.